had something dramatic. And in the Sri Lankan cricket team, they felt they'd found it. An unofficial rebel team maybe, but the first black side to ever play the South African Springboks. Cricketing history had been made, they claimed. Unfortunately, though, it didn't pull the spectators. As cricket, the Sri Lankan tour was not a success.
Wretched shot there by Ranasinghe. Head was up, got himself into an awful mess.
Particularly noticeable how badly across the line he was playing.
106 for 4, facing a deficit of 381. Rodney Hartman, 702 Sports at Newland.
But politically, it was a masterstroke. It captured the world's attention like no newspaper advert had ever done. That in South Africa, black and white play sport together, or at least against each other, happily and amicably. To carry it off required a high degree of organisational skill, many secret dealings, and not a few bent truths. A task ably handled by the president of the South African Cricket Union, Joe Permensky. Interviewed by Rand Daily Mail reporter Amin Akalwaya, he was asked if this hadn't been done to disrupt international cricket in retaliation for South Africa's continued isolation.
Well, that's an unfair criticism, and one which seems to be freely bandied about by those who wish to discredit the efforts of the South African Cricket Union. The South African Cricket Union have made it absolutely clear and gave notice to the international community when we were in England in July and in the year previous to say that that is absolutely essential that cricket in this country is promoted and fostered in the most effective way, and to the extent that we have been isolated from international competition for so long, one of the ways of doing that is for us to have cricketers to this country. Naturally, payment of money goes with it to encourage players to play in South Africa.
Quite a few members of South Africa's cricketing establishment feel uncomfortable about this attempt to buy themselves back into international competition. But with an average payment of £25,000 each, it was an offer that certain Sri Lankan cricketers found difficult to refuse. After all, it was more than they could expect to otherwise earn in a lifetime of cricket.
They come and see the way how people in Sri Lanka live, then they will not speak. Then they will say certainly they are trying to make a living. I had to feed my family. I had to live at home to give them a nice living. And I'm not going to please the whole world. I got to please myself first. Like you say, always charity begins at home. Charity doesn't begin round the world.
Tony Opatha is both manager and a player for the Sri Lankan team.
If you tell me a sportsman who is doing sports for fun, I'll call him a liar, because today the name of sport is money.
Can you just come back to your original statement where you said that you are coming here to see for yourself? Have you been to places like Soweto?
That's one thing that I wanted to see, but unfortunately I didn't get the opportunity with my team to go and see, because the simple reason that we've had such a lot of games on the tour.